Bokeh is a word people use to describe those creamy, out of focus backgrounds that everybody wants in their photos or videos. Even phone manufacturers are like adding 3 or 4 cameras on the back of the phone just so that they'd be able to get something close to the real bokeh that you get from a normal camera. But why is that? Has anybody just stopped there and thought to themselves, why do people love this effect so much? Well, today we're going to see the advantages and disadvantages of having a bokehlicious shot. My name is Sadi and this is CineStuff. First off, we're going to talk about the advantages. Getting a shot with bokeh is really easy. There are basically 3 things that could add this bokeh to your shot. First one is the position of your subject. You gotta make sure that your subject is separate from his background. So get that subject as far away as possible from its background. That way, the distance between the two is very big, and that translates into your focus on the subject being far away from the background. The second thing that you need to do that is very, very important is to open up the aperture. Whatever lens you have, try as much as possible to reach the lowest aperture that you can get to. Now what happens here is you get so much light inside the camera because you've opened up the lens blades. In this case, all you need to do to adjust the exposure is just put on an ND filter. Now the third thing you can do to get that effect is have a zoom lens and actually zoom in as much as possible. That means that you have to be far away from your subject, zooming in on them to the frame that you would like, and then from there adjust your focus to the subject. A lot of people in the industry call that also compression, but we're not going to go into that. We're just going to say zoom in on the subject, it'll get it more blurry. So to sum it up, make distance between the subject and the background, open up the aperture as much as possible, and zoom in if you have a zoom lens. Now a good thing about opening up the aperture is that it smooths out the skin tones and it makes them look beautiful. The reason that is because the focus area turns into a very small focus area and only focuses on the eyes instead of actually being sharp on the skin too. Another plus of bokeh on a cinematographic level is that it basically separates the subject from the background so much that it kind of isolates them. Now if you want that effect on purpose, great, but just make sure you're aware of it. Another way you can use bokeh cinematographically is that it makes shots look like they're from a dream. The reason I'm saying that is because normal eyes do not see like that. Just hold your finger like that and just put it in front of your eyes and you will notice that everything in the background is not like completely out of focus and just like bokeh is everywhere. Naturally, human beings aren't capable of seeing stuff like this, so it's something the human eye isn't capable of. It's surreal, it's not available in nature, and that's why it insinuates a dream. So let's say for example a guy sees a girl and he goes like, oh my god, she's so amazing, and they put a close-up shot of her. Chances are the shot is gonna have loads of bokeh and they're gonna make her super dreamy and nice. So yeah, you get the idea. Again, great if you know what you're doing, but if you don't, it might end up making your shots look unrealistic. Now a lot of people say shooting in this style is kind of the lazy way out and is the amateur way of making your shots look nice. Well, unfortunately, they're not that wrong, since more and more people seem to be shooting this effect blindly without actually knowing what it symbolizes. You've got to understand that taking a good shot does not mean just like blurring out the background and making everything sparkly and stuff. It's about the composition, it's about the lighting, it's about the camera movement, it's even about the blocking of the subjects and characters in the scene. This brings me to the next point. Shooting a shot that is not very blurry in the background is a lot harder, because once you close down that aperture, imperfections start popping up everywhere. And that means that you'll have to start cleaning up your composition. So next time you're watching your favorite movie, just make sure you focus on those shots and just see how the background is a little bit blurry, but not completely blurred out and you can't see anything. You still can see and identify a lot of items in the shot. This is because the background of any shot serves the story. The story is the most important thing in any film. Now if this bokeh and like completely blurry effect helps your story, then go ahead, it's great. But if it's not in the right place, it could actually harm your storytelling. Now keep in mind that when you close down the aperture to get less blurriness in bokeh, less and less light goes into the camera. What have you got to do in this case? You've got to light it. Not only to just light it up and expose it, right? But also to paint it like a canvas and create this like depth in the image, create dimension, to create layers of light and shadow everywhere and contrast. That is what makes a really good shot, but it also is harder. Personally, story always comes first. Only after that, I can start crafting the visuals to serve that story with whatever aperture I need. So next time you see a bokehlicious shot you like, don't be just blindly impressed by it. Just ask yourself, does it serve the story? Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. And until next time, CineStuff out.